personal standards?
And I'm going live right now.
Okay.
Got it. You know what's funny that we talk about that personal standards. And while I do think that we all believe we have personal standards, I am going to do this, and I highly recommend anybody else that wants to do it. Write them down. Create a document not only of what you want out of life, but who are you aspiring to be. Right? Because you can write it down, you can see it, you can start to feel it, you can see, is this true or not? Just thinking it sometimes comes across like an illusion. Write it down takes action.
Yeah, I love that. So writing down your personal desires, your values, and what you want to support you daily, basically. And belief. Like it's a belief, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, so like you can have any belief you want. Yeah, you can believe anything you want. So you don't have to indoctrinate any old, like there's an old saying, nice guys finish last. It's only true if you believe that's true. You don't have to indoctrinate that. There's plenty of successful people that are nice. You don't have to.
Yeah.
Right. So you can make it whatever. You can be like, I want to be successful and maintain my integrity. Right. Yes. So there's lots of things you can do for yourself. You don't have to do it. The world's not forcing you to. You're taking a stance on who you want to be known as.
Yeah, I love that.
Even if it's not an honest person. I mean, you are who you are.
Yeah. And so what would Vicky have as something that you personally feel is your standpoint on life, especially with plants and your creative power? What would you say, Vicky?
Sorry, can you repeat the question? I got a little bit in my head thinking and I couldn't hear it properly.
What's your passionate purpose for your personal life around what you do?
I'm still not clear on it, actually. Because what I'm doing is so attached to my health, and I'm still blind at what's stopping my health from improving in a way.
Yeah. And so what do you do to support that in your daily needs? Like, what do you use to support you physically to counteract the pain and the pain point? Like, do you find connecting with the plants help you get more free in that area? Like connecting?
Yeah. I was a lot better this summer when I was doing that, but now going into the cold season, I usually volunteer through the winter at it's a religious organization. Talking of religion, it's a religious organization. I'm volunteering. They have a secondhand store raising money, and I'm a little bit at conflict actually too with where the money goes, because it only goes towards Bibles, where I say kids and people in third world countries need something else before the Bibles, but that's starting because it's a religious organization. And even though the work is actually much lighter than the gardening, I'm in severe pain when I'm there.
That is very interesting.
Yeah.
So what do you think that would be? Like, if you were just sitting contemplating the difference between the gardening, and I know you're going into winter so you can't do it, but like, I know one would be more your passion, even though you also want to help and volunteer is also a passion, but I know with your plants you do a lot of also volunteering in the community garden and helping people. So that for me, that may have a different element of passion, and physically standing in a shop is a different way of supporting your physical body. So interesting how that has shown up.
I just started this week going back to volunteering as well, and I'm trying hard to kind of notice and observe what's happening. It's a lot of positive movement, I think, which it's affecting me as well.
Yeah, that's fact, just standing more and not moving through. Yeah. interesting that that can affect us so differently. And probably a cement floor, I'm assuming, and that really causes physical grief.
I can't sleep at night. I'm in so much pain.
Yeah, interesting. It's wonderful you're aware of those differences.
Thought I stayed too long. I should reduce it. Yesterday I stayed 3 hours. I was still in severe pain. Today I only did 2 hours. We'll see how tonight goes.
Yeah, interesting how you might have to honor more your physical pain than the volunteer work and limit it to 1 or 2 hours just to see if that makes a difference.
Yeah,
Because that's still service.
it will probably make a difference, but it's difficult for me now that I cannot go outside because it's so cold here.
Yes.
I don't have anything to do, so I'm left stuck in my apartment, which is depressing for me. I'm not dealing very well with it.
Yes. Yeah. James, do you have anything on that? Or
You
question?
know, no, I think for standards, one of the things that I've been trying to seek out are the easiest possible answers to any question anybody may have. One that doesn't involve having to have anything other than exactly where you're at. So I kind of been thinking like the most important thing is acceptance. So my value or my values are to start with acknowledging the truth, to ground myself in facts and what is, right? And we'll go from there.
Yeah, I love that, because if you go from where you're at, that's then a decision, you know, because you obviously we all have to take care of ourselves in the equation. It's not about just the we and the us. We also have to take care of our physical body so that we can serve others. Like, you know, so we really do have to take care of me, myself first, because you know, I personally, if I had someone volunteering for me and they're in heaps of pain, I would not want that for them. Like,
Yeah.
I would want my volunteers to be able to physically be there with joy, not with pain. And so I would give them a different job.
We have such a miserable manager right now. I just started on Monday and she already threatened to I don't even know, because she cannot fire me, but something like that, that I would not be welcome to volunteer.
Wow.
Because I was voicing with her the way certain things are done. They change certain things and it's not for the better, it's for a lot worse. So I was trying to pinpoint with her that it's not helping the volunteers and it's not helping the mission of the store either, what's happening. So I was trying to talk to her, but like the more we talk, without me realizing, my tone of voice kind of raised.
Yeah.
And she took it as a threat to her personally. I'm like, it's not to you. I feel frustrated because I feel like I cannot explain myself better enough so you understand what I mean. I didn't mean to raise my voice. It was kind of... So because of that, she already threatened me to kick me out.
Yeah. So maybe that certain place may not be the right place to volunteer at.
Yeah,
I'm just putting that out there, because, you know, if it's back to the values James mentioned earlier, you know, if they don't have the same core values you have, Vicky, then it's your physical body won't be happy either, because
it's very sad, because it's not just me, like all the people that I know, we have over 100, the store functions only on volunteers, only the manager is paid, and she's paid actually quite a bit of money too. She makes $70,000. So yeah. But the success of the store and of the mission is based on the volunteers, but she treats the volunteers like crap. Yeah. And most of them are older people, like I am one of the young ones in there. Most of the people are in their 70s and 80s going in there. And they're all scared of her.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really sad, really, because,
It's
you know,
very
all
sad.
those volunteers are giving their valuable time
Yeah.
and want to help other people, or they wouldn't even volunteer. And
That's
then
right.
someone at the top, you know, like we were saying before, James, about the politician and being the politician that actually is more of a global politician where everyone is concerned about not just this wealth or this poverty, you like the whole thing comes together. So Vicky's got the opportunity to work with hundreds of people, voluntary, and then the person at the top is stopping the flow of true voluntary work of 100% service.
Well, I think to put it bluntly, the question would have to go from a polarity perspective. Is the mission, or is the mission, is the organization doing what you want so much, like is what's being accomplished is so valuable that you're willing to put up with whatever hardship? But if it's not, is the juice worth the squeeze, right?
Yeah, well, it is some personal interest for me in there as well that keeps me going, because we get a lot of like new things in there. And me having a limited income, it's helping me a lot when I get stuff for my granddaughters or even for myself personally.
Okay.
So it is personal interest as well, not just.
Yeah. So I would just kind of not even interact with that lady. Just show up and just.
Yeah, well, I think surprisingly by the end of, because she called me in the office on Monday, and by the end of our talk, I think she understood me actually. And yesterday, like usually she doesn't say hi to anybody. She doesn't say, like, all people are like, they're asking each other, does she say hi to you? Does she say hello to you? And no, she doesn't say to anybody. She just walks right by. But yesterday she actually, when she saw me, she waved her hand and she was like very different than from her usual self. So I think she understood by the end of our talk. I think she understood where I came from.
Yeah, you created a respect of values that you spoke. A lot of people may never speak out to her, but you spoke your truth.
Scared. They are very scared of her.
Yeah. So you spoke your truth with value.
These women are in their 70s and 80s, and they're afraid of this woman. Like, it's so sad at their age to be afraid of a woman that actually has a job because of them. Because without the volunteers, she doesn't have a job.
Yeah, exactly.
The manager.
So I reckon you and me, Vicky, if you want, could do a little energy work on that, and just with your relationship with your physical body and the workplace, the volunteers, if you would like to, because I'm happy to do that with you and see if that shifts something.
I don't want to impose on your time, Kali.
But I'm offering my time. So if you want that, we can do that behind the scenes.
Yeah, we can talk a little bit after if you have time.
Yeah.
I'm gonna end the live video, guys.
Okay.
Thanks everybody.